Hey everyone, it's Chris Loud. In this demo, I'll show you how I beat an art slump with two abstract landscape paintings. In reality, there is a third, which I won't show you the demo, but I will show it at the end of the video with the other two paintings. So in a nutshell, I revisit previous paintings and infuse an element of those in these quick sketchbook paintings. So in this painting, I decided to create an abstract landscape with a very loose and slight resemblance to some paintings that I did a few weeks ago with geometric shapes. I'll leave a link to that video in the description if you want to check that out. So every once in a while I have those really good painting weeks where I'm zoned in and I'm able to create paintings that I'm quite happy with. And come Monday, I'm so excited to paint, and yet I just stand there and the ideas don't come and I have a hard time putting the paint to the canvas. And then I get in my head and I make it worse and push myself even further out of that zone. And this past week was one of those. So even though I didn't use the same techniques in this painting and I didn't go for the exact look, utilizing elements of those previous paintings provided a structure that gave me a level of comfort. It's like a creative safety net that allows you to explore new ideas while relying on something familiar. And by working quickly and loosely, you remove the pressure to create something perfect. The freedom you get from that can reignite your creativity and help you rediscover your energy and mojo and your joy of painting and help you get back into that zone. And for this one, focusing on seasonal inspiration, mainly because I was thinking about autumn, which is right around the corner, that allowed me to connect with the current season's colors and mood, which makes the process feel fresh and timely. But primarily, it gave me direction for my color palette. And like I said, at the end of the video, I'll show you the final paintings as well as some close-ups. So I'm doing these in a mixed media sketchbook with 98 pound or 160 GSM taped. Let's see, I've got the paper taped off to 8 by 10 inches, or 20 by 25 centimeters. And while it's on my mind, if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe. And as always, if you have any feedback or questions, I'd love for you to leave me a comment. So I put down a little bit of newspaper on this one, just because I was trying to do all three of these with a little bit of mixed media. And newspaper was that one item that I think kind of connected all three of the paintings that I did. I wanted that newspaper to show through in the end, and yet I also wanted to kind of blend in with that scenery. I wasn't coming into this intentionally, trying to make a hill or a mountain, but that's just kind of the shape that ended up kind of coming out of this once I added that newsprint and just the way the shapes kind of laid out. But I was really focused on more, like I said, more autumn colors with this. And I really wanted the focus to be kind of down at the bottom, along that horizon line, and not into the sky. So the sky is relatively simple. I was really focused on the lower portion of this. And I did use a little bit of black wax pastel, water-soluble wax pastel in this to create some of those geometric shapes. So I'll pull the tape off here so you can kind of see what it looks like, but I will show you at the very end of this video a better image of this. So for the second painting, I decided to cover the page in collage. Again, this is something based on past artwork, and this one is very similar to a sketchbook piece I did several months ago. However, what I'm putting down now will almost completely be covered up by the end of the painting. I'll show some images at the end, some close-ups that show a little bit that peeks through, as well as some of the texture that the collage created. And the fun thing about transforming a collage into an abstract landscape is that, again, you start with something that's kind of a comfortable structure, but then it allows you to see your work differently. This approach kind of encourages you to think outside the box and view each layer as an opportunity for something new. I knew that I wanted at least some little bit of the collage to be visible in the end, and not just with the textures, but by filling my page, it gave me so many options and possibilities for that to happen almost naturally. And this painting, it gets really muddy at first, and it's very easy when that's happening to think, well, this is not working out, this is going nowhere. But you know, if you stop and walk away and come back to it and think, you know, I've got nothing to lose at this point. I kept working this one thinking I felt like I could make something out of it. But along with the struggles I was having in that slump, you know, at this point I was thinking, okay, well, you know, I'm still in it. I'm not going anywhere with this painting, but I kept at it and added a little bit more light colors and tried to give myself some kind of direction. And I felt like it just was not coming. It was not coming. And then you know, something changes and I start seeing kind of the light a little bit and keep going with it. And because I tend to start my, you know, many of my paintings with a bit of chaotic underpainting or collage, this technique came very easily to me, which made starting less intimidating. So putting all that collage paper down was, I think that's really fun. It's messy, but you know, for me, that's something I just need to remember when trying to break out of a slump. So something to think about and write down when you're not in a slump is, how do I normally start a painting? What are my go-to techniques? Those methods can help you get past the initial resistance that often comes with a creative block. And remember that these quick exercises are about movement and experimentation, not perfection. The goal is to get your creative juices flowing again. I don't love these pieces, but I do love that they help me move forward. And with pieces like this one, the collage serves as a foundation that anchors the painting. It's a reminder that, you know, creativity builds upon itself. And sometimes the key to getting out of that slump, that creative block, you know, the key to moving forward is to repurpose what you've already created. So I encourage you all to think about and jot down, what are your go-to techniques for starting your art? And I encourage you all to revisit your past works when you feel stuck. Sometimes the way out of a slump is hidden in what you've already done. You know, remember that these quick exercises aren't really about that final product. It's getting, like I said, you know, paint on the page, paint on the canvas, and kind of working through that slump. As we always do, we find that way to move forward and find our creativity and our mojo back and get in that zone again. And right here, you know, you've seen me throughout this putting up a pre-cut mat to kind of take a look at this. And I also put some smaller ones down just to kind of look at different sections to see if maybe I should do something to enhance those areas. So something I do often just to give myself a different perspective of the painting and then sections of the painting. But this one, I kept finding places I liked, and then I kept working it, and finally come to a place where I think it's got me where I need to be, and the painting has done its job, and I like where it stopped. I don't, like I said, I don't love any of these, but it is somewhere close. So let me show you some of the close-ups of this so you can just see some of the colors and some of the details, some of the collage peeking through, and some of the textures there. And then the final piece. And I'll show you the first piece here and just a little bit of the close-ups. So you can see some of that newsprint, some of those geometric shapes. And again, these are very rough. These were practice pieces. Here's some close-ups of the third piece, and I'll show you the final version of that. So thanks for watching, and keep on painting.